Okay, here I am going live. Oh, and it's my favorite joint where it's Cheers meets Archie Bunker meets Sanford and Son. And,
He went up them 3 times last week and fell free. The ground was wet. Your mom said he rolled all the way down the sidewalk. Said he was soaking wet. No, said he clothes. He said, bring me some clothes.
Okay, I'll be there.
I said, why? He said, I don't see. Mama said he was soaking. I'm gonna make it cool.
so what do you got to say, guys? Let's hear from you. You know, I've been talking for months. I just want to hear from you guys. You know, what do you want to do with the world? How do you want to change things? What do you want to see? Let's start hearing from you guys. I'm gonna be less talking, right? So let's hear from you. What's on the menu? Oh, the captain's table. Fried shrimp, catfish, what else? Crab cake, hush puppies, mashed, a baked potato with everything. See, good. Yep. I just spent the whole day with doctors. That's always fun, right? But mostly paperwork. This is here. I'll show you. This is all the paperwork I had to deal with today, right? And they're all of these pages represent different doctors, x-rays, blood tests, just to get a pair of shoes. Just to get a pair of shoes. Right? And those shoes cost $400. But there's something very similar in Walmart's without the insert, for $19. Basically, same shoe without the insert for $19. But to get the orthopedic insert, $400. I can't get the orthopedic separate and then buy the shoes for $19. Anyway, I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm not going to. So have you guys seen Michael Cohen? Did you see? I was sitting. The best thing I had to sit in this one waiting room for about 2 hours, and the best thing was I got to watch that hearing. That was kind of interesting. So what do you guys think of that? I mean, this is kind of the hidden hand having to show us how corrupt. Donald Trump isn't any more corrupt than anybody else. I mean, all those guys who were sitting up, all those congressmen and whoever, just as corrupt as Donnie. They all take the envelope. They all go to those parties where they do pizza. They go to pizza parties, and they eat pizza. And but what do you think? I want to hear what you think. Yep. So, what are you guys going to do when the holographic projections of alien armada shows up in a few weeks? and starts using the same technology that took down the World Trade Center, space-based energy weapon, same weapon that was used in California to incinerate thousands of people's homes. Go to stopthecrime.net. Have any of you done that? Have any of you gone to stopthecrime.net? That woman's like a junkyard dog with a bone. And what's really great about her, she's kind of legal and she's really bougie. She's got her Chanel pearls on. She was one of those who kind of said, "Oh, well, they would never lie to us." And then she kind of saw what happened. Her whole house incinerated to dust, and her grass was still fine, and the trees were still fine, and the bushes right up next to her house were fine. Right? She goes, and then she found hundreds of her friends missing. Yet the state was saying, "Oh, only 16 people died." So, what do you think? I don't. I don't know anything. I know nothing. I know. I'm like Schultz from Hogan's Heat. I know nothing. Nothing. Right? I'm just your Sensei Al Bob. I'm just your griot. But hey, since last night, I know nothing.
Fine, well, I'll get you some spinach.
Oh, thank you, baby. You're the best. You are the best. Look at this. And that's $9. You can't beat it. So, what do you think? What do you want to do? I'm offering everyone come on down to the Deep Green. That is a special place. But hey, the other thing I say, what are you doing in your neighborhood? Are you, hey Dragon, you know everything. I'm really glad to see you here because, hey guys, this guy Dragon, he's the smartest, he's the best looking, he's the most experienced. Dragon, how old are you? How many years on this planet have you had? Dragon? Oh.
My dear.
Thank you. Let's see, what else do I need? Some of that cocktail sauce. That red stuff. You're the best.
I need cocktail sauce on base side.
This is what you gotta do when you don't have any teeth. Kind of gummy food. Oh, no. What do you know everything, Dragon? Now, how old are you, Dragon? I know you're an ancient person, right? What are you? How old are you, buddy? How many years on this earth have you had? I'd love to hear that. Love to know. Let's hear it, buddy. 30 years old. Oh, God. So, Dragon, what's your esoteric plan for humanity? How would you fix things? What do you're so knowledgeable. You're so experienced. What have you, what can you give us? What germ of information, right? What plan, right? Love to hear it. Ooh. What is LOL? Does that mean laugh out loud, or what is LOL? Oh, I swear. Cocktail sauce. Well, were you watching today's or congressional hearing on girl Mikey? Mike is the guy.
There you are.
Thank you, baby. I always have a good time, Twitchy. You know, that's what life is about. Life is to, what are the three rules? Doctor, do no harm. Don't get involved unless you can have a positive outcome and protect the innocents by getting them out of the way, and if you can learn something. You know? Otherwise, you're involving yourself to fix it. How do you know how to fix it? What's the fix? Maybe people need to go through what they're going through. You know? Are you ready to attach yourself to that karma? Huh? And what do you think of the bigger picture of, like, as I was saying, love's co-creation is the only reality. The rest is an illusion, right? And so what goes wrong? People go, oh, God sucks because how could he make? First of all, God is a he, really? And have you guys taken a look at anything from the old days? The Sumerians, Mesopotamians, Egyptians, Babylonians. Look at all, and how any of you guys learned Hebrew and taken the Old Testament in Hebrew, and in Hebrew, every letter of their alphabet has a number. Or every word has a mathematical equation that fits into, you know, good old geometry. And that's what the Kabbalah is. Have any of you guys studied Kabbalah? In Kabbalah they have all those equations are basically alchemy. Metaphors and allegories, yep. But they're still equations. That's the Old. Now, the New Testament, yes. Oh, wise one, esoteric dragon. Esoteric dragon, what do you put on when you get a hold of me on my the Dude Awake 42 Gmail? What do you, because I haven't found esoteric dragon. I found esoteric shaman. I haven't found esoteric dragon. Now that's probably my fault. In fact, I can't see too well, and lots of people wanting my attention every day. That's what I thought. Did you get my email I left you last night? Esoteric shaman. Yum, yum, yum. Hey, Jane. I was working for her contractor husband, the California government messing with Reg Code. Yeah. Now, Jane, have you read that website or gone to that website, stopthecrime.net?
I do have one over here with your name on it.
Or have you gone to architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth? And those guys are actually architects and engineers, and they actually have scientific, perspective, other than the government, George H. and Dick Cheney's 9/11 soap opera. I mean, they used popular science. They did not bring in any engineers or scientists or anybody, and they, yes, excellent show. So it's kind of right in our bridge, gang. Next few weeks, alien invasion. There's a movie coming out all about that. I think it's called, something planet, right? and it's all about how the aliens going. They're basically giving the 411 on what's going to go down. You know, just like they, if you were, somewhat aware or awake and was watching what the neocons were publishing, well, if you would have known about 9/11 because they put it straight up. They put it out on their website. And who were those guys? But everyone in the, you know, Dick Cheney, George Bush administration, and Wolfowitz and Rummy and look who's the guy that Donnie is bringing out to be his envoy to the Venezuelan problem. He was the guy who got thrown in jail for orchestrating Iran Contra. And who was the guy who gave him the presidential get out of card? Was the guy who's now our new AG. And did you watch his senatorial hearings of him being okayed? I'm done. Every one of those senators are the best legislators money can buy. And basically, they asked them all softball questions, and a few asked them, the kind of pointed questions, but they didn't, push it. They let him dance around it, right? So, and there's a congressman or senator who's running for president. Her last name starts with G. And she's the one who went off to Syria and said, we don't need to be there, And she basically said, hey, chomp, chomp, chomp. Really, buddy, not chomp. It's more squish, squish, squish. To chomp, you need teeth. I just have gums. Hey, Mr. Gorilla, or Miss Gorilla. Good to see you. Anyway, that's having a good meal with my friends. I had to get on the road early this morning because I had to go to 9 different doctors and bureaucrats just to get a pair of shoes. And, John buttonholed me with, I feel so terrible and it's your fault. So we had to talk for half an hour. And I got him to meditate. Or maybe, I don't know, a minute and a half until the squirrel woke up and went on about how everyone's against us. Okay. JB is the canary in the coal mine. He's a really good, straight up, this is what's going on in the general public's mind. And this is what, I really don't want to go on about the canary. But he's a good guy. He's got a good heart. He's really smart, talented, all those things. I mean, he could be doing what he wants. And Mr. Khan was a great example. There were 1,000 people. About 600 of them lived right in Roanoke. There were a good 150 to 200 filmmakers making 2 and 3 and 4 or 5 feature-length films a year. And they're taking them to film festivals and winning prizes. And after that, people come and buy them and put them on databases so people will come watch them. And they try to make them for, what there was really a great thing. There was this category of people who make movies that they shoot it in less than 45 hours. They don't have to shoot it all, 40 straight through. Like I was at that conference for 30 straight hours and I was sleeping. That's why I needed to sleep last night. Canary. Yep, that's the one. That's JB. Yeah, right. Anyway. And when I went to my podiatrist, because my leg is starting to hurt more than usual, he just looked at my shoe and said, "Oh, it's your shoe. It's forcing you to walk sideways, So, and he gave me a prescription. You need a prescription for those kinds of shoes. Like I said, the exact same shoes is sold at Walmart's for $19. So, anyway.
Hey, Al. Can I push this way just a little
Sure,
bit?
sure.
Just a little.
Go for it. Go. Push.
Hold on. I'm not that strong anymore.
Oh, wait a minute.
Is that good enough? Hey. If you stick down a little bit more, you'll have a little more.
All right.
Hey! Yeah, man, you.
Anyway, so my greatest suggestion is that everyone in their own way, within their own community, do something. Be part of something. Be the example. And that's kind of all of those doctors' offices and bureaucrats' places. I went in today. I was an example. I was sweet. I was nice. I was listening more than I was talking. Right? So, and that's why, instead of taking 4 months of bureaucratic blah, 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 I'll get it done in a week or two. I mean, that's my ulterior motive, but my secondary motive is that I touched about 20 people's lives and they'll feel better. The head guy of one of these big institutions, he saw me, he said, "Oh, come in my office. What's your problem?" He'll make sure that all that paperwork doesn't get lost in the thing. But I spent a good 10, 15 minutes with him, touching up his meditation. I showed him how to go into state a few weeks ago when he was worrying about things. Right? I don't even have to, do a class or something with this guy or anybody. I just stay in their presence and energetically tune them up. And then I give them my business card. And they go, I have 400 shows there, guys. I would say go and watch a few of them from back in the day, from last May. And see the things I talked about and how I talked about them. Right? And see, because lots of people, that's how they watch the show. They don't really go on the live chats. They go into, that's why I have almost 30,000 views since May. And the only, 270 in the cadre. Right? So there are a lot of people who watch and watch a lot of it. And they're the ones who contact me on Gmail because they really are shy or just want to talk to me. And they're the ones I talk to. Well, anyway. So, have one of the best things is a book reading club. But because so many people are writing so many good books and have forever, there's tons of books out there about everything. That can make pretty good coleslaw. They don't get it out of the bag, they chop it up themselves. And they actually have a real bar here. You know, this place used to be a nightclub back in the day when I used to come here. When I lived downtown. Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, they had dancing, a karaoke. The most fun was to watch Archie Bunker sing Ebony and Ivory with, Jay-Z. You know. Fried shrimp, can't beat it. So, if I eat one of those once a week, I die. Just once. I haven't had one of these in about 6 weeks. Maybe more. Because I don't have the money. And B, not the best one. But once in a while, it's the best thing for you.
Ready to order?
Man, fire, pizza fire. Look at anyone. Every politician. I mean, last Tuesday, I had to be downtown really early. And it was snowing, so I couldn't know if I could get up the mountain. So I came down and stayed with a friend who had a TV. So I watched a good deal of TV, and they had public access, and I watched this Tuesday evening. Hey, Miss Tammy, what you doing, baby? You're looking good. I love your hair.
John, I'm on it.
There's Tammy. She runs the place. Anyway, I was watching the Roanoke.
Hi, girls. Hi, Miss Tammy. I'm getting ready. I'm getting some more. Oh, I know, but I had to get it. How are y'all doing today?
Well, it would be a funny game, politics, if it didn't involve the death, destruction, and suffering of billions of people. Right? We have, the hidden hand has had control of technology for the last 300 years. Back in the 1790s, there were folks who, rediscovered the secrets of zero-point energy. We didn't have to go to the oil. We didn't. Yeah, baby. Say hi. Say hi.
Hi, how are you?
Say hi to the fans. This is Tammy.
Oh, Lordy, I didn't know that.
No. The world loves you, Tammy. The world loves you. Yeah, but the dumb politicians are just sock puppets. They're just employed. They are. Yeah, she's the sweetest. Tammy's the best. She's like a mix of Woody Harrelson and all four of those characters. The coach. Anyway, so basically, our city government here in the city of Roanoke is basically selling everything off the cheap to their friends. Putting thousands of people on the street. And by being on the street, they become vulnerable to incarceration, so they end up in jail. Once they're in jail, they're stuck on the system. They really can't get a job. So the mission here is the place where homeless people go. And they make $50,000 a head. And so they don't want anyone to not be there. And so they don't give any real training. They don't give any real assistance in getting off drugs, alcohol. I mean, it's fine that they can do drugs, alcohol, tobacco, all they want, as long as they don't do it in a mission. Mission actually owns a gas station on the corner. That's my main sale is alcohol, and main sale of alcohol to people from the mission. So, that's why, I kind of stuck around Roanoke, Virginia, because it's the microcosm of America, politically, socially, economically, you name it. It's all happening here. So you don't have to travel around the country to see what's going on in America. It's happening right here. And there's tons of nonprofits that make a fortune, right? Allegedly being the social safety net, because the government got rid of the social safety net thanks to Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton got rid of it, So I saw this congresswoman who, her last name ends in a G. She's really smart. Oh, I don't know how long she's going to last in Congress. But all the media is framing her as a commie. Because she basically told the truth about both Syria and Venezuela. That Syria was destabilized by all of those people out there marching who were basically paid plants by the hidden hand. Right? Hail Hydra. To destabilize that place, because it was actually doing pretty good for a number of years until they were going after Hail Hydra, right? And because Venezuela has more oil than Saudi Arabia, and it's just in our backyard. I mean, they could stick a pipeline from there to Texas, no problem. I'm sure they already have. So. And she was like just spouting facts, where the news guys were just saying, like, so she was talking about, if we stop spending trillions of dollars on the Defense Department, our Defense Department spends more money than the rest of the world put together. Russia spends about 10% what we do. China spends about 6% of what we do, right? Because all they want to protect is their borders and their little sphere of influence, and their whole sphere of influence isn't the planet, right? And they're more happy to do it economically, right, with the Silk Road. And so they went after school. They called her a commie. They called her, a fascist. And all she said, no, we shouldn't be involved in these foreign wars. We just protected us, and we don't need to build a wall. Yeah, that's it. The bar, yep. Amazing. Well, like I said, I don't know how long she's going to last. But all the media was against her. All the politicians are against her. And so when the Green New Deal shows up, she goes, well, we have to do something about our environment, but I wouldn't per se say this is the best way, because it isn't, because it takes all authority from communities, from you. If you want to take the water from your roof and use it as gray law, the new Green New Deal says you can't do that. If you have a well, the Green New Deal says you can't have that. You have to pay for a water system to be brought, and not, good old Mr. Gaddafi spent about, $200 billion to dig wells, deep water wells, down into the the Earth's aquifer, not the surface aquifer, and bring up water. And he was turning his country into a garden of paradise, right? And he didn't borrow money from the World Bank to do it. He did it himself, right? He gave everyone a house. He didn't borrow money. He did it himself. He put everyone through school and gave everyone health care. Again, he was, the people there were generally happy with him, right? And he just did the crap that the hidden hand said, hey, do this or we're going to kick your butt. So he did. He pretended to be Momar, Well, he said, okay, I'm tired of taking treasury notes for my oil. I want gold. That's when they offer. Same thing with Saddam Hussein. He said, okay. The main reason why we went there in 91 wasn't Kuwait. Was he wanted gold for his oil. And we went in and we took out all his weapons. He wasn't a threat. We decimated his military and whatever infrastructure he had. And then we pulled out. We thought, fine, you can be the leader, just do what we say. And he did. But Dick Cheney wanted to destabilize all of the Mid-East. He basically wanted to bring Armageddon. We've been working at bringing Armageddon for the last 20 years. It hasn't happened. So this congresswoman was saying, hey, look at this. And she, every time she gets out, she decimates. She goes, we have to deal with our environmental issues, but we have to look at them clearly, not in a textual way of propaganda. And the other thing we have to get medical care for everyone, single payer health care, right? We have to educate our young. And I saw her tapper, on CNN say, well, that's going to cost you a lot of money. And then she showed that if we only spent a third of what we spend every year on the Defense Department, we could pay that. And in healthcare, if we did that, we spend more money on healthcare in the United States than any country in the world. And yet we are 45th, right? And she's saying if we did single-payer healthcare, everybody would be covered, everyone would get healthcare, and it would cost a third of what it costs now. And he goes, it still costs a lot of money, meaning you'd have to take some money away from rich people like him. So poor people like me wouldn't have to go through the dance I had to go through just to get a pair of shoes. They said these shoes should cost $480 when I could, if they just gave me the insoles, which are just pieces of plastic, I could probably make them out of duct tape. And then stick them into the shoes that I could buy at Walmart for $19. So. And yet, the American public just goes along with whatever flavor media you're told, But if you cadre, or just to step up, have a coffee house in your neighborhood, have a reading club, go visit whatever church is in your neighborhood and see what they're doing. Go visit all the churches in your neighborhood and talk to them about the needs of your neighbor, the homeless people, the homeless youth, all of the, why people are addicted to drugs. Why are people addicted to drugs? Why do you think people are addicted to drugs? Oh, brilliant, insightful dragon. Why do you think people are addicted to drugs? Boop, boop. Anyway. That's it. Over 1 million Iraqi children dead. And I'm sure Ball, loved that sacrifice. All these wars are sacrifices. It's, satanic
Yeah.
sacrifices. And the dimensional creatures, the insectoids, who do not have a conscious free will, all they have is an ego. It's the death of innocence is their crack cocaine. That's why we have these wars. Well, buddy, it depends on what drugs. But the real kind of answer I was fishing for, people take drugs because they have a hole in their soul. They have something missing, and they're trying to fill it up. That's why people. Why was I 520 pounds? There was a hole in my heart, and love's co-creation let me do that to the point where I died in a plate of spaghetti. And then it took 2 years to, reassemble homeostasis in my body so I can carry on doing service to love's co-creation. And that's why I'm alive, because, like yesterday and today, I visited all of my doctors, blood tests, all the stuff, x-rays. So they all said, you are a miracle, I don't have in my left leg the bones connecting my foot to my ankle. Normally by this time they would have cut my leg off, because either the pain would be too much, or it just wouldn't work, or it would constantly get infected. Well, I dealt with all three of those issues through prayer and meditation, going into state. So, and I've gotten all those doctors to do the same, and it's changed their lives, and that's why they take care of me the way they do, instead of me just being a number, They go out of their way to make sure I get what I need, and at a price that I can afford. Well, Love's Light, you can get a hold of me at thedudeawake42@gmail. And that's pretty close to a conversation. And I used to have this thing called WhatsApp, and then one day it just went away. Yeah, of course, I was addicted to food, I've been addicted to a lot of stuff. But once I realized what those addictions were, meaning part of me doesn't like having an artificial substance have it over me, right? I can do anything, I can have this meal right here. If I have to have this meal 3 times a week, like I used to have to, well, that's addiction. I can do certain substances every now and then. But if I have to do them, every week or every day or every hour, then that's addiction. So it's the having to have that's the problem with addiction, right? And I don't judge anybody. You want your addiction, go for it. It's you. I don't. I'm just here. Being an example. I'm just your Sensei Al Bob. I'm just your griot. I'm here to tell you a story, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What happened to my cup? I guess somebody took it without me noticing. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Thank you. DOD, what is that? Again, love, get a hold of me at thedudeawake42@gmail. Okay? And we can start the conversation. That's how I kind of got a WhatsApp thing. Someone explained it to me what it was, and then walked me through the process of doing it, and then I had it. I talked to a lot of people around the world and saw them, and then either they changed the operating thing or got bought out or something happened. And one day it just kind of went away without a notification or anything. It wasn't there to use in a simple way. I didn't use it, But the dude awake 42 at Gmail, good way to get hold of me. I think they call it electronic mail. So, it's really cool stuff. Who knew, You don't have that problem.
We went over there yesterday.
Anyways, and 45 seconds coming up. I got more things to do. So, excuse me. Oh, I only know Tammy's name. And the chef. Because I call her chef.
They stay wet so long. Hey, you know what they do? They get lazy and don't go drink water is what I got figured out. They don't go drink, they just lay there. First thing you know, they got 2 weeks to do anything. And they just die. So I've been going by and getting them
So,
up.
guys, what's the Ewok thing? I don't understand. There's got to be an inside joke or something.
But I've been asked about that. I haven't been listening yesterday morning now. I didn't go out in the yard. My wife, I didn't go out in the yard. Some green grass around. I got pollen down there and some green grass around there. They was good yesterday evening after they got into that. You know what I mean?
Got the box for that and my bill.
Yes. Small box. Anything you need with it. Here's some sour cream.
I'm going to take all this with.
Okay.
So maybe
Yeah, I
big-
was
maybe
thinking,
a big-
do you need
big
anything
box.
else though?
No, I'm
You want
good.
another different butter, like a new butter?
No. Well, you can give me your salsa.
Salsa?
Right.
Yeah, because that's a
Oh, is that what that is? No,
that's a cocktail sauce. So a salsa? All right.
And a big box, because I got all of these.
Salsa in the big box. I got you.
And my bill. Thank you, baby. Okay. Anyway,
At this point,
so,
I'd like to have them again sometime.
well, again, see you tonight.
Right car. And try to look after all the guys getting going. I was thinking,
But I still don't know what you're joking about.
I got my land rented out.
Sweet dreams, buddy. See you tonight.